Welcome to this brief demo of our upcoming cash flow analysis and forecasting Power BI course that's brought to you by Education. The purpose of this video is just to give you a bit of a feel of what's coming up. So what we've got in our first page is what our students get to design is a cash flow forecast, 12-week projection with a ton of visualizations using different DAX formulas and doing some amazing dashboards. So in the first report, we look at an overview. What the students can do is once they've designed it, the users can flip it between the different periods. And I can select the movements, or see the movements between inflows, outflows, net cash movement, and the closing bank balance. So as you can see, it's nice and dynamic. The amounts change, and then the users can quickly spot in which weeks there is a negative cash movement and investigate those periods. Right, but also get to design is a detailed cash flow forecast. So you bring your cash flow forecast into Power BI. So here's a nice summary of it that the users can see 12 weeks ahead. There's our start and the end period. And what they can do is if I click on that, they can drill down into the detail. So I show students how to do that as well. We look at a bit of our cash outflows analysis. We look at our fixed overheads per week. Look at our variable overheads. You can see nicely the movement. We look at some periods of dividends, capex. On the right hand side here, we look at the line item of expenses, which is also, you can see everything is dynamic. So if you want to see it for a certain period, you just drag the slicer and everything changes. Alright, we also do some cash inflows analysis. So again, we look at our composition of our cash inflows. And we just visualize it different ways, and we do it per week. And then what the users can do is that they only want to see week 15th of January, they select on that. They want to see the 22nd, they do that. So it's nice and flexibility for the user, and it's all dynamic. Alright, moving on, we do look at our expenses. What we can do here is different line items we select we want to see. It will show the movement per week. And on the right hand side here, it will just show us a tree map of all our expenses per week. So what we can do is we want to see it for that period, that's fine, 12th of February, and so on. It's a nice way of visualizing it. We look at margin of safety. We want to really give our students the capabilities of designing cash flow buffers to project their margin of safety. So in this example, if I want a 3-month cash flow buffer on my fixed overheads, I'm going to land up with a factor of 1.16. My target is 3, so I'm going to have a problem. So you can see here, all these months there's cash flow deficits. When we look at our margin of safety, there's a nice buffer there, and there's a nice buffer there as well. Here's a nice trend. There's our actual overheads. These are our closing balances, and that's where we want to be. So you can see only in that period, in these two periods, we've got nice cash flow buffers. And then lastly, what we do is we do what-ifs analysis. So now, based on the previous example, we've got a margin of safety that we want to achieve. We want 3 months of overheads covered. But now let's just reset this. So now we know our factor is 1.16, but now we want to get that close to 3 as possible, which is this year. So what can we do? Can we try and reduce our overheads? Let's say we do our trim our overheads by 25%. You see that's already pushed the factor to 1.55, so we're getting closer. And let's say we collect another 30,000. So that gets us close to, say, 2. Let's say we can also reduce, maybe we only want to cover 2 months worth of fixed overheads. So in this instance, we've got more than enough. We're on 2.88, and then we can perhaps just reduce our cash collections and then try and see if we can cut back. Let's see if we can do on 10%, even less, around about there. So again, there's the deficit periods, the buffer period, and there's a nice chart to visualize it. Alright, so that's a quick demo of what our students get to design from scratch. I teach you guys how to do this, and no one else is doing this. And once you've done this, you'll just be amazed at what you can do in Power BI and amaze users with your new skills. Alright, until next time. Cheers, bye.